okwa beta so mbeto player bi Jesse Pardia Jesu number 10 dia omutu mutan ene abetene ya pesa Jesu number top enti Barcelona Jesu number 10 anu ya jana so Barca store ho edi adane pana dentia me ho ko ya se anu adana jo Cancelo womusu timi wie ne teo no mobaka anu adamba baka toza ya Cancelo ja na dentia Cancelo ja nyina ya se nano da tama mobo aya Zwan Gampa game no womane ale no bobo anu sese no ho sanko twanse e bebo ne di na ja wako park so ne ayi na tere abrante di twa bruta sabaso na fa mo ne di wo so on fail no na anu adane na ne won fail no enso aba so ne paperwork ni nyina no abrante so timi sinsan kama enti ma twa ne was quiz so no mo banya abrante no aya ja Cancelo na ye back on YouTube enti say YouTube no nya problem kakra ha eno ya technical haters enya sisi ya sanko back on YouTube and to call YouTuber ado ya Nhyira TV na fe wo so wetima twane na ne manyina so etima ya kama now ma me nante kakra na me kwanim me ni tuma kakra from Barcelona boboko no okay João Cancelo kra ma me wiefie na João Cancelo say yanka mo bianta ya say a good feeling at the man so assigning at the man Barcelona boboko no na we ni na ya bittersweet asa ye ne asa su ansere but o sadia no was last season and you feeling na onya so no so esa back na wa baba ye tuma no diama tima and ya Barcelona this season was a very different it's a proper signing and no ya diama Barcelona bobo konti Barca supporters ni na no monkata na mwanya adwensa this season there wano João Cancelo ebe ye tuma no diama Barcelona fans no and ya amdeta eba ewe tuma de so ne na fameko Frank Yane kase na me ne koba kakra na Frankese when so feel ana chaso romu asade okoye adwuma ne kakra ane okọ aye taki ni ade wakwa ni na mho ani ade reporter men seka ya sabranta no womo edin koma na koma muti nyina ye juve na edin koma sa ankomba he na koma ma Frank ye ne kesi asamba na waba Italy na waba ba ye adwuma no edema because adwuma na this season one person mo ya no woba Europe juve so mu do well after so ko scudetto and so ewe Italy so mu so timite adi so na so na reporter ja eba every juve akatia and then anope me katia dem away from juve ma me koma nim kaka na Cristiano Ronaldo I am back on the field. Na ene omu game abo omoni Riyadh and so game bo reporter men seka sabrante rekwambia so ade obetime siakan na no twetime e kama ade ama Cristiano Ronaldo na wucho Ronaldo is ade chama wanyini azishade Ronaldo anyine pa wo hesi sha chama ni kosa was any ade 976 goals na ne 26 season in football ana Cristiano Ronaldo ebono and two teams time anyini sisia de enyini na ba ni ade na Ronaldo sisia no wadai ni ti wenya huru Ronaldo recently me pato Ronaldo wadai ni ti Gabi mano mankani me pato Mr Ronaldo ezaza na anu da na time ya wade and Mr Ronaldo ni sisia wadai ni ti kama pa atase oba bebo ma alnasa wo mo so ni ma so akoye e de ma ne reporter ja mensa eka ewodumade so na me mami Ronaldinho Medikaka to say Ronaldinho back to football na wakwa sign a contract after say oba besia kan na ayfa no kwasia kan na yasu kwa Italy third division ana teso paying akobo third division side na teso no so eko wo mo from Rafinha FC na mate say Ronaldinho enso Ronaldinho kwa ade na okwa yase football but in chema ba nyame anim ni sporting director na say ona nkasa edema team eno Rafinha no wakasa wase Ronaldo anasa Ronaldinho bano nya just football pana oba bebo beta waba be yentuma enso de team no waba be shareholder enso nemom no wama sise game Ronaldinho besia kan enso asa game bi anya hwekwa de wobubo sa game na so Ronaldinho enso timi obenya go ese na bia ne football career no after so retire no wasamba back enso ba benya go nti nyame anim ne enyo football proper ana Ronaldinho eba be emom no wakwakoto stick wakwakoto salsa ene ekame so oka club owners ho enso ermatiba eno so ye Rafinha no ye reporter ja eba efi Italy na no pe no make take kakra enso adamante wo any jersey number 10 as usual eno na Ronaldinho nso besa tama ofi flight mo enso ese ja anya France aba wo mu be sa Ronaldinho na eta watima ya duma kama ya de nyina nso aba e was screen so na san komo we ana Zlatan Ibrahimovic enso Yakobi Sansa wankasa wonya Ronaldinho ana be wo se wo ba be bo football kakra na wo se Ronaldinho be ya duma ni ya na no so nyame anim ni kama se Ronaldinho aba wo ba be sia kan na san ko ya ono pa na or return from retirement Ankonko third division, second division, Cranko Meho, one third division, and Obabo. It sounds the difference. That one Ronaldinho tell me as one way full of fit, and into your friend is Zlatan, and to Sanka, or no Zlatan, there, and Kebianka, Oha, Syriana, and Coron Sobabo, and Yankobaka Crasso, paying at the tutor. I would to media friend, and a pay make a check a cardiamo, Mamenkwana, Menko Liverpool, Menkodin Kobaka, Liverpool for Muntemia, and no, may Tima, we met him at the league in this seminar, so Naja Medias and Dinkai, Anna Meditos, the Tosumianum, Anna Medi Manchester United Tosumiansa, Anna Medi Man City, and so Tosu Anaya, among for so Montasia, Liverpool for so Montas, Sama Dabraka, I need you more, Munyaba Tamfamami, Namutimi, this is never funny. Mekotea, yes, Liverpool for say, Wabupa Yakubu Mente, we met in Komoye Pa, now Omako Brighton and Hove Albion. I'm a Brighton up almost 50 million pounds. Now, yes, 50 million pounds of crapa. Liverpool for Cra, I saw Mondabacon, Yasun for 50 million there, Massa, Montuma Dumania, they say, what we did 50 million Codano, 22 years depend when you're prosperity year pa, and quite one hole, and tis a Liverpool for per now, Pasomo Sound quite Dabi, woman use the Cadena, Elliot Tanda, Semania, the Adequano, sign a boy, see to Tomania, didn't he? Some pay Yakubu Mentala. Now, Mescadin so MY Tuano, a reporter met from Liverpool, and now a pandemic caretaker at the man now, Mamenko Manchester United. Reason here, Manchester Ateneo Matensen, at the court Carlos Baleba. Atas one baza kora ne babesia kanaba Manchester United baby agina madam sir Arsenal our branch and the Myers Lewis Skelly sa koda we bono Arsenal for say when him new boy pa na no da wo motasa wa so da nya bia mbo wa Arsenal kate ana se Manchester United course o dabi sa na tede anka wo mon form no emfa bom na koda no in fact bono him new boy pa say bia Arsenal for ana ehu akoda no use in fact akoda ne ba wo betimi ayusu ni ye pa ya say Arsenal for ya san kom bedwene ho ahwe san kom betime agya branch ne kwan na nka bia waba Manchester United abusia ya say afra koda no na wo ne kasa koda se nyame anim ne wo de onya na adu say this season wo fit team no no ya Arsenal ya say no na enam so Manchester United ayo ba do say da bi dia ende e no be so betime nya Yakubu Mentala na da Yakubu Mental so atma da bi no ya Carlos Baleba rather aba be ya tuma no so e de Manchester United bobo koda ne reporter eba ewo tumade so ene anopa me keche kakra edema so na yarane yade 70 be edeba na mame Curtis Jones ewo squeeze no so na meka say walante enso ewo Italy sisa ne contract no wakwa kosan edema Inter anti Curtis Jones ni another me be aduma katom sa sisa Inter team no fuse o maninya players wo mo ba be aduma Jones so nyina ko Curtis Jones so ko enti aduma ni nyina be kama edema Inter Milan bobo ko no na anope mamen confirm say ay 30 million euros ani a dealer Curtis Jones from Liverpool. Wadonso eba reporter men second year yasisa danchan koba bia seinta eba ton Curtis Jones 10% eba ko Jamal Liverpool bobo kono until Liverpool dia se me pato maduma ni nyina na ma me says isi ade mo ne me eja problem bi okay mamen ko branta ni dey Benzema na Benzema na no damba be katam sa wo person mo force na na nkaja wo mo ni free team num ama mbedi won ko makakra de chose Hilal bobo kono atun so person mo ja branta abrante de kwana akoda we ne sikasem e Hilal Boboko no ya se wokwa aban mu a enkrofo bi wo empefo bi wo ha wo mutua eye ne pay ne half ne salary no wo mutua half nti ayede ne de amatimi so mbe pam abrante no na ya eja akonkonsa fo ana no da yakocha abrante ne bi sa se no opeyin woni ya pam yo wo bakwa na so beta no se me na me wo ba bi ko team we ma na metrenti se ebi ba yo madun so mbe cha ne kwan de ampato Karim Benzema asi anka mo bi anta se nya de se wokọ ba bia na mom no ubenya Benzema na watima hwe na ade so wo TV aye kama and the high sense ade TV papa e de aba high sense so mo ye promotion na promotion no mo so aye no we factory direct aye promo bibi bia beto market no aye factory price and o de ema anti promotion no and so started on the 18th e kopim on the 28th day of fire akasi and so na sa promo we na aba na wie we mu wie no ma ba beto from 28 and so e de akom aye nanim na tese no so atima commenti and opa wotemenka kwa sense akate kodi smart TV kodi washing machine kodi freezers kodi refrigerators not aye kitchen appliances sound system na eno so nya kama mfama but wo mo no mesini 030255 00 no wanya ISS Ghana afana bebia no me pato wo mo nso ho Kumasi atafo wo benyu amo okota na so bo ho Kumasi sitimo ene nso benyu amo ana dum post office nche ho okọ eye sunyane nso dia wo bene ai na bi na die nimhwe wo bo aso mo otakwa ne takrade enkran ba bi bebre ha to bato na okọ mata eko odi wani temu ala pasa wo mo ho no industrial area ene nso benyu amo janse mo atomata mo ni nyina omo enso ho afe yamfe ani nchemu ho hoi and you voter region Koforidua we be no tamale no anya answers na tese and you man so nyina ya kama de ma du pone de aye kulun Ghana limited wo no de du pade aba obidi wuntu capsule aba aye meme do abo be ma bia be ma wo bo wjo de wado aye wuntu capsule and be bo aye pa ma mensem no and so etimi awie pa nya bidom and so ati o mo de medro aba wo ba bia dro aye araba bazen tobeta no and bo ba bia mo ba bia and so wo ma ya sem na awie pa menstrual pains menstrual disorders ni betrasia edema enuati woye ba na wini ba mesa na ene wini atenka me pato ta no bia beboa ye pe no so ati wo be Mr. Kill so ba eno ba ma premature ejaculation slow erection and of libido from West Spencer e betu ni nyina se dem wo mo no mesine 0244275429 wo ko from mesine drug shop bia wo so wonsa etime kan de na adesman service salons and so ade mesika merchant loan ade aba na we mobile money agent na ebia wini sika wini ikasa sisi mini ikasa na twetwa for phone na dial star 171 hash star 171 hash when a tick up select financial services select loans na select aye misika afefa to so 5000 we so benya so tumanim kena na fenso etime de adwuma wo munyina so atawro na no pe no wo bo asu asene enkrofama so sabne nyina ye de etan wo ewo yan sisia wo do so me wi amamo adupa enso anom na tase no so etime aye kama ye pa na ade abakunye fa me kobanim kakra na menko Madrid minkwadi nkoma kakra o Real Madrid na uko Real Madrid da Jean Diamande akasa na Jean Diamande na anso trophy ko bi sansamasa ma team na waba no ama me kokwaso because sika no amede ato na asunye pa entu pay na fe na oba twetwe ho ye bebo game nkatama team ani dinade Madrid enso hia na fe na aba beto papa so ne ade ade a ebe ha dwuno entie mi sa se why ready sa ubetimi apo team no aboni ya na wase nyame anim nie sa yo se mo wi na afro na se mo wi no se ono ba be ye adwuma wase die hard die hard and no said Jumano, and Oba Benti was a Morino Jumana, Waba Jaman mounted in the Okuno, I had Juman Diamant remounted and a reporter. Abranta the daddy's Yan Diamande, at the Eba, I would demand your sooner, oh yeah, and the Abyssans is a press a pound about also, as I says, Siko Media Tomasa, Sikane, we are 2 year power. Now we are suffering, now we are player. Near 12 Boardins, Adia Massa, press about the news and us. Now once I'm okay, team and the dinner demanded. Womuji mi dinti anon peja says can the baba tormenti adentina esa me ma pressure bi efame yan diamande say aye zero pressure ana be fa na nya de say pressure bi afana masa obeye adwuma no wanya scared one kra esan say winim adwuma ya wonso aye broni anom aye reporter me pacha branch de de yan diamande anso di twitter e wadwuma de so na no pe na make it anso di ama wan sisa wodo nyina so now ma men trene na men komani me yan diamande esa bi sansa na Madrid so from the sign out to no young man is here and come over and tell us at the first time and papa my your friends all make good minds and you man to say your friend of mine in the man say ay me pa me ni keti abrabo any minds and you man and my mamin chow now young man they say Wadaya wanda and no swadia no pa and ya na dwin na eh me na me ko madudi eh na me pa na yose from me say me na me adwente young man dey see and Cambodia say in fact or say what is some Madrid and so ehia no when your first call from Madrid no ni na ye ene ni na ye sumu nyina no in fact na say nya easy and from na ne yankoba kakwan so abrante no ade tutwa e wodumade so ene anopa me ka che kakra dia ma now ma me ntwe ne kakra na me nkoba ni me na ma me I Man City na min kodin koba kakra uko City bobo kona wenim so mo abranta ba ko ho Savinho Wabu kofandi ni fi peso ana omde akoda ne ba na akoda we ba no gwanse da nya ina after papa bia ambo amfa ma team no na wenim sika omde kofa no aye 30 million pounds per 2024 ana omde akoda we eba 2 years on wamo to akoda na wamo to na so 75 million pounds wamo to na de na Manchester City report ni omo to no adna ma Tottenham Hotspur eno ato ma vievie bibia anopa ya make say up to etina esa branted etina de Savinho ekoya ni medicals and so ma Tottenham Hotspur 75 million pounds eno eskata sadu so romo eno konkwada me ko banim kakra kote ya se Tottenham Hotspur asa ko so mo pe Omar Mamouche omo fi se Mamouche anim ho eduma ni nyina betimi aye kama enti so omunya Omar Mamouche wo betimi aba no masa so mo ye negotiations no eno so another donte within be week no wo bo ye 2 signings Omar Mamouche na fe Savinho ani a reporter efitim and the Tottenham Hotspur Kudus mama me patron the club no enkoba kakwa ba ena no pe me kete dia ma ni na metete ya City say Sir, we just 2 players in the choir. One basa ko Brazil. No mo ko Brazil la. Wo mo Palmeiras. Akoda ba ko wanya 22 years. Jefferno Alan na oya winger. Akoda we wo mo so ni mpo bo bruta. Wo mo ko no ma ko hem. Wo be kakra to atire because we 30 million. Na mo ko 75 am. And for fee say 2 years in here. Wo ma ya proper deal team. Wo mo san ko another venture. Na ma ko fa akoda no Edna ba Alan. And so ba wo ba be mia. Na no so ni mu amia neta sa be say be won timi Mo City kwana won be jana kwa mo so no etme jana kwa na reporter jam mensa e kan wadwumade so meko Arsenal meko Mikel Arteta makwa kodin koba kakra ye bisa say Martin Zubimendi mo be jana kwa ne kwa na ya tede say Real Madrid anto we say be adantan koma bia no we metima ba fa Martin Zubimendi adna ko because 2 seasons ago Madrid bobo ko yo Madrid san ko bo hia koda we ana asafo di meka ana dom ko fa Martin Zubimendi na no pay reporter men say kan say ya say sisi no wo ba san kiko mu biem ama internally wo madin kobo enkoba so buti nyina ya say we metimanya Abrante de Martin Zubimendi na asa for say dabi Abrante we anya de so mbeja ne kwan anoda ye bisa Mikel Arteta was say Arsenal Fred Duma mo ye and even league o mo ti ye any position o mu so eda any o mu nyuma mo ye ne last season our football career for Arsenal team no Martin Zubimendi part of it and now an important player Arsenal ye pa without Abrante no and can be a munji ni kwampa bia baby Arsenal do your last season we betimi adu and takoda we de nyame anim ne we betimi akasa nya da so mu ja Abrante no amana ko bia no en ko bakakosa Mikel Arteta adi eba e wodumade so Manchester United akọ Abrante ya fana Leandro Badi ho na wano a player adama baso na boboko no wo chance so ya Leandro Badia wo betime boye pa wo fisa koda we bo no wonim bo ni boye pa esanse Badi dia masa bo Alejandro Badi ba bo no masa nya yi se kra ene ententanwa wo fa bo no pia de ba na obo aya ya kanse win back na aya kama wo bo aya ya kanse the back line no so a anu so ya kama afen so side forward aya kama enti nyame anim nie so munya koda akoda pa oya left footed ateso betima ya adwuma ne dia ma mo ewe tiro prepare ya padia emese omunya akoda we ya ne dia dia Leandro bad na obeboa Manchester United boboko no better minimal adia say team and the ya can say Barca ebeja akoda ne dia eno so ya another story and they make it dia ma no mame ko banim kakwa sama me abranta no mame Hendrik nso ye player de man Madrid matesa yasi ise no wo ma sa se din komo na enkomo mu din na ye Liverpool say enim ho wo mu hia player say wo enim ho yan diamande wo ko dada afe Bradley Bacola Liverpool fire so me de Bradley Bacola baba do no yen so dan ti do ni biem esan say do no do ba bia progressive biem ade Liverpool for sa koda ne boy ade dodo impo sa koda ne kwa baba ade so soften ne niam kakra what else so ba ne sikasem wo beto so kakra ama ma team and dey pia the few sa team and dey ade Liverpool fi so mu hia player no mo proper player na ma ba say mo Bradley Bacola mo first kan na Liverpool from person make SS canon esan so mesi pon we anim ye pa metete so bo SS anko mbenya Antika anka bia no so betimi aboa anti Liverpool dance no mami sabo mo benya branch na ano the big question and now no pay me bi samo e wo screen no so na mekotsew se na medin koba kakra basa fa no me wa update on Euro and Forest and so at man better mama me basi share na mababa ya sa story no and so at man me sansa mame nko process for no na yendi koba kakra esansa wo mata do mo de niam diaba process and plant automation for wo say wo di distribution port e diaba and wo di circuit breakers diaba wo di solar cables aba and wo di vials and highway and so aba wo di highway solar package this no apa na your home smart DIY a product in your moody BML and to your big company na we be aduma opesa we plant na we use no in fact urban electrical say we betimi afaso ama we use generator wo so am conflicted with electricity no we be the win yema nyina adiaba imposa we mu wo am fidia we me the best say light in yemanum say de be anka BBC na anka sanka ehwose a battery po na nyina aboa na teso nso atmenya tire didim sa nyema no no president plant automation for Eddie Abba and you pia 100% general product there. Woman no medi nyina enso Eddie amount and tell you meaning come our human we 0200 077127 another 05 09554646 na woman say global brands outdoor and omni omudi djuma ebi ti say cement ebi ti say sand woman the hioki niama ba woman the helicables and niama ba woman the festo woman the highway woman the data and woman the phonics air contact niama ba woman the son of niama so ba 5 years warranty bibi bia we beto makate the attention TNC kakrabe attache discount and woman so at the amount and if any chemu we dume wo kwa duma PPA we be no so e wo UBA bank no opsi the pair woman pen mekom neta woni o madi djumana enema nso akoye adi amana wo mo so atima bo Franco Trading Enterprise as phones nyina wo mo ana edi aba wo mo adi original Nokia Samsung and iPhones nyina aba in fact home appliances no wo me di bia battery freezers microwave wo me di blender wo me di generators ana gas and electric stoves no wo me di bia ba impo wo me di CCTV cameras and na kade nyina enso aba ano ye Franco Trading Enterprise no edum de ejaba jewels ncha wo ho challenge shop wo be nyo ho Kofo Connect woman no me jenim chomo no mess no so 245 316969 and as 0501 380605 neta we sweat me enyo me pa Alaska Star Enterprise omo ana unsese wudam wo de ring light wo de marble sheet wo de aroma diffusers wo de inflatable sofa chairs no su biaba ana mo de sofa covers diaba plastic wardrobe ne Santa Martin no we benya bi wo makati adum wo Mrs. Not Plaza first floor woman Prudential Plaza ne denim chem woman numbers 0256 330075 and answer 0200281080 na wonso wetimi enyo man kan woman to do woman MTD the office and answer Ecobank and then so edi enimhwa now enzile concert eno ya enwumre na eba se ne tio no wobetimi awia no pa ya ukọ team and the Arsenal report no Airbus Enziri Konsa we from Aston Villa Wababe Jumana Ediamomo 51 million pounds and a dealer a room plus of 4 million add-ons and so county 55 million pounds and a scar Wabaya Sam Brantena Wababe Jumano and so Diamomo a 4 years contract and ends the Consa and so sign a work up no Koya Jumakakra Jose Marino and your Bissasa Freddy Favade and your orange Chamane Wamontu Kwano buy and Wetima Sove what resolving your men between Mantano Emia no say hey sa somewhere no makofa ba na me ba akwa minim sam na nto no mako ezan say wo ba wo mu nyina ya kama wo mu nanti bom wo mu didi bom wo mu jini bom wo mu ye bibia bom right diabro ni be fa no say unity na bi wo camp ye pa ente bia wo nam ba bi na wadun yo say madid na jatam a yo say ma we no so men kan to say na to adwinum na madid na mu ye de papa em na nteri mienu wo suam na obi an kan to say ana impo so no so say news na nye so ote ya a working can bia ankobeka say bibia say because between them no enema ye okay ene ankobeka kwa say Jose Marino adi eba ewe tumadi so na ebisansa na squad wasesa pabre ene akudiri ni ade the new Galacticos are more from me our madi de adwuma uvisa ubetima ya mana ya na players no mbe okay and also nyame ani madi obetima ka say frustrations ababa wo mo start so mo bo game the entire frustration baba ya say what team 15 players and field no so and ya there 11 players pen no de beko they are carrying na bench warmers at this bia ya bo game no attend no bia bam and the player bi o tena bench one no Jose aya we say and the players ni nyina na be happy better there so mo ya na abo team Madrid and no mo ya decision am wo mo nyina hope say betimi abo our players bia so beti ase no and ne dia one players no so aka entoje tum so asase a na so obo matters na player bi nya bi mboya anya dia sansensem kakra no anu so yabete and ye bisanse Vinicius Junior Jude Bellingham and afa Mbappe wo madwuma ye no woni se no so nyame anim nie sabna ante ne mensa no ade onim ye se wo ye Carlo Ancelotti adwuma obaya ye edema Madida wo ma Vinicius Junior ehu hia ye pa ama obi ehu Vinicius Junior kwan a wo fa so onim ne ball no eboye pa afezu ko England a Tomaticho head coach ho wo fa Jude Bellingham wake up e bo Jude boy no enye ise ama fe uko France so a didi swamp ama ise Mbappe na ye extraordinary player chance wu sampa Mbappe no maso onim ball ne bo what is onu yo saba 3 players saba bia wakeka nyina no beka players ni nyina bom no so give it out of the best out of South 3 players no na no so tima bo Madrid and ye dia Jose Marino and so Eddie Eba we here and ye be say na niam ni siko we are disappointed Cement man san Rodri and also Dabi we are disappointed say Dabi Rodri do or a good player omunya na nkebe improve e yo mutim ni ye pa ama no so etimi aboa empo ablante say ankobeboa ni wura hopom and so ebo e football mu no e ade ankebe timi aboa Madrid better and wenya na we are disappointed say Dabi ni players ho no office so betimi ya adwuma no and so adi ama Madrid and yankobeka kwa so Jose Marino adi Twitter and ye be say why do starting 11 wenya na ano si nyame anim nie na ideal starting 11 die onimala ano mpeso obenya first 11 crowd because aduma na oba be no anytime they depending on a game so nya another 11 o betuma ya aduma ni ye pa entanko benya pa so yase Madrid wo mo 11 ye no ma predictable de Dabi wo so mpede sa ene yanko beka kwan so a Jose Mourinho di Twitter Barca for the moment player na me say Julian Alvarez no ebia no matimi anya no dia mense ka no ezan say yasa no pai abode dia ma me wo squeeze no so yase wo Atletico Madrid o mu training grounds wa mo he kwan no ho pe abrante ni jesu number no ana wo mo aye banners ana mo dia ba be fam wo mo park den tono pe bia wo mo ko training no na ayese road sign 19 ata so mo de red etwa ho asia ana ma san cancel no na we enta so kakra wan say o ma twa bibi wo ho Spanish sa u translate a wo mo see Julian out wo mo hear Julian Alvarez o Atletico Madrid do be de wa ya wie sasebio wo say sabe waso na adwebo no person ko baso na wo mo sia ne kose wo mo hear na otim nim biem ane Atletico Madrid wo mo no report omedi pa atasa men second year na yesa matim no every say saba na branch no ekoda because yesa after say wo mu hura branch no mu di na tem no efi na no da besi nra yesa branch ni nya happy na enya de se nani edi ye kra enti yesa branch no keka kakra obese na no ana nka mo mame poko ya anka bibi wezi yesa let commanded ayi mame every tojo crash yesa omodwo say na swap di no omunye prekom na so omede be Barcelona party omonye ankombe na Premier League nim and the Salati commanded adwun say bia Premier League nim no mama brante na ba na nkata wone team no so ba be adwuma ne reporter mete awodwuma die so with Arsenal afen so Matisa Salati commanded we sanka amaso a na Nicolas Jackson omni Chelsea edin koma ma yeso o initial move no club aso a womni ni agents no so edin komo kaka Lautaro Martinez dia no Barcelona for so ombeto na ambru hene million euros Wamasa kodan de omehia no salute baba embro hena million euros no abde kakra men seka dwuma de so na anope yadi etan wo enhye awde onyina so sansa baso na aja tum se we mehia proper number 9 no so atima baba ya dwuma na asna for no efi so mo start season no Mikel Arteta so start league no on a good note na tese atima abo asna ebetimi add league no e de so mo na so a wase na against Coventry and ebedi take sound near many nyina ane enkoba kakwanso eba na kalala enso atenase atese yebedi enkomo formato limited wo me no mede adupa ede aba mede lumitras aba malaria do tetahwe atemita ane lumifrant se mukina ebo ma ekuta ma de amoa wani nyina no ana me kan fodi amo bibia mpacho anya binum na no so emoa ye pa afi so mede baby fight drops nso aba eno na enkoda du ebo akoda bia ama akoda bia nso nyine enso ekuaba ata na me kan fo ede ma mo sande no do ede aba ye pace ebetu ni nyina se ede ama ana me de bioglobin soap ene ne capsule enso aba eno na ebepo ama tese mpacho uyo bia wani su chine wo wudidi nso won sheda husu ye we vitamin B12 ne folic acid ewom uyo bia wakoma bo pede ni ade a edu ye de bebo 1400 enso made de do tetahwe atese kama ye pam eno na kama obi ajatum eno ati wo me de follow man de aba meme do follow man me do follow BT plus kama also life no so ho ebe yo no mpema aduma ana Voluvite asofra plaques no enso ahwe aye wuntiri maduma Voluvite omega 3 fish oil ebe ye aduma kama dia man na cholesterol ana fe Voluvite immune life no aye your immune system booster Voluvite menoke any platinum plus ne ho woko aye cancer drug shop bia benya bia to ne pharmacy wo mo no mesne 0561 088666 ana 0561 088663 na monsumatimi enya bi wo matawroma anope yade nkrofama so sem no etan wo enhyehyɛ awodo nyina so straight yezumi na yakoda foreign fort na yakakodi enkobo monim say every Friday bia no ade se ye round table na yetime edidi nkomo bebi na tese eden so etima ye kama ye pa all right Fifi Manfred ewa ha obeti Fifi nka ana Kingsman Kalala and so ewa ha obetere nka now ye bebia homa ndi amam na fe monso mwetime de madwenche de aba dwuma de so berepem na etime aboa ye penti afe no atwane ye mamu nyina kwa aba de ba ye dwuma de so Kingsman, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Gabi.
Na empom to say
nyame adom bibia boko
wudi na nkasa Kingsman de enim se ene de ye kan say name what system dum dwuma no ntahudin no wudi ankasa de say
Midianka say Benedict Adusei Poku.
Benedict Adusei Poku. Oh, okay.
Was Adusei in Emran in a Poku.
Oh, okay.
Benedict, yeah.
Matthias, Benedict, okay. Nina Fia. Come on, not your word about
Wednesday, near Kwaku.
Kwaku Benedict.
Yes.
Kwaku Kalala. Aka. Kofi Maraska. Good morning, Kofi. Wednesday. Adiati India. Baby, are you okay? Yaba. Ye be adwuma ye besom asante man in Ghana.
Simple English Premier League started.
Yeah.
And me sure say by now call your social media handles now. What your prediction from the team. So and there's just a simple job of identity and your picky teams in your pick, you know. And of course, and then you may ask now a game against Coventry.
Yes, we are interested by
exactly.
Ghanaian two players who want
of course. means that you be who and a caliber and cheat.
Yeah.
And I branch a friend Brandon Santia. Yeah. On original game. But why a lot of people still saying Arsenal beating defend your title? It's a very important thing. They are, and this is what follow the commentary are in England. Most of the people are not first no last season, this season, almost complaining about Chelsea for projects now beginning to say Chelsea can win the Premier League. And for me, even as a Chelsea fan, I find it a little bit of a reach. But that is what they are saying. We do the analysis. What is the data that backs all of those things? Manchester City, Manchester United, SAR teams thing, you know. It's a very interesting thing to say, and I think say Gabi, let me say this. No matter who you are, open ball. Fashion would dream say football and its business side. Baku enyadi beja the other one we chida. If you want to be successful in the game, marketing of the game, branding of the game, Gabi, nobody does it better than the English Premier League. And then if you go across all of our social media handles, images, videos, sometimes now it means show a lot of videos, so you see videos of how they projected game, you know, they projected the season of the English Premier League, the various managers. As the season goes on, when is for the very first time, there are 3 Basque managers in English Premier League game in the top 3 teams now. There is one in Antonio Iraola with Liverpool. There is Mikel Arteta already at Arsenal, and now Xabi Alonso has added on at Chelsea. Basque managers. No more together, Real Sociedad, no more together, more against each other. Now their managers competing against one another with English Premier League. It's very interesting. I think that Klinsmann was some interesting stats. Then you're able together in the analysis.
Okay. So after now, once we are planning, I say na show no CTM. Fifi and Klinsmann. Combo we fan kakra na we are fan kakra. You are now fi yansu ye jade akano. The amam na monso mwetimi atwaso nti Klinsmann. You nim kuma the point in time Fifi beba mu den. No so
see, there is no two ways about it. Say Arsenal Premier League, you know, your team are the buy or that kind. Everything are favoring them. The reminiscent of Nhyira Mobeye, the game that they played against City, they show some level of automatism. Season Yombe. But the second team I'm placing was Manchester United, and in the Premier League we have the 6 traditional clubs. Talking about the Arsenals, the Cities, United, Chelsea, Tottenham, and Liverpool. And the crapper was similarly say, Manchester United can rejoice in the misfortunes of these clubs, apart from Arsenal. You see, in football, we have something that we call epicacracy, which simply means rejoicing in other teams' misfortunes. Apart from Arsenal, among the top traditional clubs are more competing for this time. Unim said 3 of them are having a new tactical brain at the bench. Chelsea, City, and club friend Liverpool. Even at some point, they said be new there, but joining Tottenham at the later part. But Manchester United, Carrick joined. He's used to the terrain already. Then 2, check Chelsea team now. This is a Chelsea team. Kukuera, some of the experienced players are leaving them already. Latvia mu injury se wo ho. Pedro enim so obey adwuma there, but Premier League in Arsenal try and say squad in depth is something very important. Into Arsenal upon so J League Nina, he's still adding players to the team. So even Pedro here adwuma kra we are. Why they backing with you? There's a team, one of their best players, Kopama, will need to go and read the books again because he will need to kick the start. Last season, answered than Fasa.
You can call later part and
exactly. So apart from say Coach Efreno and Coach Andini Alonso added the automatism, how the players will adapt to the system, they are having issues with the team. Elsewhere, Ukopio City. Now no say with the entry of the league, you see ni has the total dominance, total tactical baptism. Even how Enzo Maresca, the City team, will accept say now Enya Pep Neko, we should adhere to Coach Nhyira is one thing. Already, the brains in the midfield, Rodri fitting him already. Bernardo Silva Murphy. So a new vein for Coach I find Maresca and so Babi Yejuma. Ukopio Liverpool. Omo players are conform about last season. And fan mom. So the Liverpool team, the old players and their new signings, Isakemo, Eketekemo, they need to adapt. Before say new signings, Baba, injuries homo. The experienced players already, Van Dijk and Moni Adi will need to also adapt in a new style. Tottenham. There is issue whereby That relegation a threaten or mono, ebeme ni abomo the media, the hype, signings or my. So this people won't pay. We need to prove because a lot of signings in our come. So
there are Kingsman can say because there's a lot of changes of Premier League. On who say Manchester United will take advantage.
Yes.
Because of consistency.
Yes.
Because there is a new coach at Liverpool. Arsenal can win the league and that is his outright winner. Yes. But there is a new coach at Chelsea. A mainstay in Marco Correa every team in England.
Yeah.
And even if you've brought in Pep Chavaria in his mind, a little bit to take some time for him to adapt, yes. Even as a player, a team in him, which can be something a bit more affected Chelsea for this season. Now he goes on and he mentions even the style of play, Liverpool for have played under Jurgen for some time, and then of course Anna Slot came in. But even for Andoni Iraola, and it is true, Andoni Iraola's style of playing is completely different. He's a manager that presses very high in all games. And my prediction is that this season, Liverpool is likely to concede more goals in the second half of matches. Because Andoni Iraola in his first season commits a lot of men forward. You press high, you be aggressive, you win the ball back. But usually by the second half, no players neighbor. So it's something that can affect the team. But it doesn't mean say over time they will not acclimatize to it and I say they will not be accustomed to that style of play. So that is what he's trying to say. Now, if he is supposed to go on, I ask him a question. Say, has he looked at the squad depth of Manchester United vis-a-vis the number of games United will play? The travel distance, mid-air. We are going the Champions League. We have your new Champions League format. Until now, you are playing more games, more bigger games, and your guarantees of maybe 2 games of fear, 1 game of fear, derby. It's likely that you can even play less games at home and play more away from home. Again, with also Manchester United in FIFA, Casemiro went. There is an injury to Manolo Ugarte. How do Manchester United reconcile this? Playing in Europe last season again. In as much as Michael Carrick, the benefits of the doubts that he has been there for some time, it's important and worth noting. Say Michael Carrick, for a large part of his stint at Manchester United, played just 1 game a week. Into 7 days, United to meet us here about match Monday, the next match your Monday.
Monday
you
starts.
Get more time on the training field with your team. This season in preseason, Manchester United has struggled in beating even a manager and almost say Wasa Sebi in Ruben Amorim. Amorim she almost on 4. And they kept on asking questions. Ruben Amorim, I said the 3 back in has come to beat us by 4 goals. So then you ask yourself, question, the physicality of the team, Yuri Tillman. In fact, the spine of the United midfield, made up of Yuri Tillman, Carlos Baliba, Andre Santos, and of course, Bruno Fernandes to an extent, can that play all of these games? 3 days a week? Over match going away. I think that's going to be the biggest question. I don't know what Klinsmann's answer is to that.
So you see, with that, Manchester United for Nefanti Omutumi say definitely they will trade one of the tournaments. So that's the only way they can go.
Okay.
Yes, the Champions League, they've qualified, but the consistency recently, the squad depth, they know said they are going to play, they are not competing. For the Premier League, maybe you want to see a Manchester United team, top 4, no best a reminiscent of them. So they will trade some of the tournament. Very evident. But Ebo Carrick B was here maintaining the top 4. Maybe we caught because recently for the last 13 years, apart from Europe, the domestics are really be. So we team do the finals of one of the domestics. Enough the man. And with the Casemiro, you see, the best midfielder for Manchester United and the best player was Bruno. How they maintain Bruno, that experience, that leadership. Tielemans is known to the league, and Wababe same. That player of features in Soba will come to the midfield. So that protection, Tielemans is helping them in terms of the build-up. Then that Chelsea player also will help them and provide shelter to the centre back. Okay. So it is true, say yes, squad depth. The number of matches now accumulated, baby. But this is the same character. But when him say last season, it was very evident. Say Senka Amorim to me, nya points kakra to wa. Can ye we be maybe come to me league, but commit me compete. Because points kakra fee coach friend Carrick very near say Amorim to me start seeing if they've had a good starter, maybe Manchester United will compete very well.
Yeah, I think that is true.
Yes.
But you see, Gab, now let us give a little bit of substance and meat to your analysis there. Now, say, oh, share on Nhyira TV. What I've tried to do is that I've brought on data to back the analysis, and it's very important. And idea of acquire Nhyira, it makes us stand out is using data to marry the analysis that you see superficially to create a mental picture to see their EPC account. Now, so what you know on Nhyira TV? Yeah, this is every Premier League team since 2016-2017. In fact, since 2009-2010. What ball games in Europe, the points, Abra all matches in Europe, and all Champions League, all Europa League, all Conference League, compared to when the team is not playing in Europe.
Okay.
Now, there are certain number of teams that are almost susceptible to some of these issues. Team beats Manchester United. Team beats Chelsea. Team beats Tottenham Hotspur. Team beats Liverpool. When I will explain to you. So for Liverpool, between 2012 2013, when they wanted to rebuild, that's when Jurgen Klopp was coming over. In Jurgen's last season in Europe, it was the Europa League before so I could the proper Champions League. Means okay. That is when no more Martin Skettel, more Puni scored, no there and Lovren more. Then later on, they brought in a team that went on to go and play in Champions League proper. There was a time where there seemed to be some level of points accumulation difference. Some more Europe and some more Europe. I will do that comparison.
Okay.
Chelsea as a club in the last 10 years, even to 20 years, has always been sometimes optimistic about Europe this season. Not next season only Europe, not this season only Europe. If you remember, the last time at Chelsea winning the league by playing 3 at the back was Antonio Conte. Last season, no? Antonio Conte took a Chelsea team that finished 10th the season before, Wambo Europe. He won the league. The next season, Chelsea went to Europe. Catastrophe hits them. Then you come back to Manchester United. In the years under Ruben Amorim, under Eric Ten Hag, I think about 1 or 2 seasons don't go in the Champions League. In fact, there was one of them that they went away, Paris Saint-Germain money at the other. But in the league, there was struggle. Only 1 to 2 teams in recent times. Even Arsenal, in the days of Unai Emery, not almost some European commitments, they were struggling to an extent. Then for Manchester City, Pep brought them super stability. And for me, the definition of super stability is not just the squad depth. So I wanted to draw Kingsman's attention to something. Say it is true. Yuri Tielemans is experienced in the Premier League. Bruno Fernandes, obviously the best Manchester United midfielder with team in him. Andre Santos, Kobe Mainoo. This is top. Carlos Baliba.
Yeah.
To make it 5. Deep. But in terms of questioning whether these players, how many of them have even played in Europe consistently? Yuri Tielemans a couple of seasons under Unai Emery or Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes, same.
Yeah.
Andre Santos on and off.
Yes.
Top level
European.
Carlos, no. Kobe Mainoo always as a periphery. He has never been the main guy. So those questions can be asked, especially when you have to juggle the two. But let's look at the data. In 2015-2016 to 2016-2017, that is the Antonio Conte era where Chelsea played in Europe and they didn't play. There was a point difference. It's red dots, no? Time and a team in Europe.
Oh, okay.
And a blue near time and a team in Europe.
Okay, no, all concentrate to a league.
Just the league and local competition. Chelsea in a point accumulation of plus 43 points.
Okay.
Europe, plus 43 points. Now, when you go to Manchester United, in the year 2024-2025 and then 2025-2026, Europe, this is what he had. Obaya one ko Europe game no plus 29 points in addition to the
no last year the Manchester
yes.
Okay.
So the 2025-2026 the same season that Kingsman is talking about. Michael Carrick plus Ruben Amorim.
Okay.
Now, what is clear is that the team in Europa, they obviously have some level of focus in the league and a bomb.
Okay.
Like I've said, you get more time on the training pitch. One of the biggest problems that coaches ever the time you get to the training pitch. Because consistently, you need time. You have to travel. Travel time, acclimatization, time difference, player health. It's not a big issue. It only has 7 days. You drum in exactly how you want to play. And I think Michael Carrick was excellent at that. So we United here, that doesn't take anything away from Michael Carrick. Okay. It doesn't mean that he can't play second like Kingsman is saying. What it means is that United have a bigger hurdle to now beat as this season comes in. Now in Liverpool 2012, 2013, then 2013, 2014, Omnia plus 23 points when they were not in Europe. Again, Spurs 2008, 2009, and 2009, 2010, Omnia plus 19 points when they were not in Europe. Chelsea again 2023, and Omeka before this Chelsea had won the Champions League in 2021 under Thomas Tuchel. Then the subsequent season, Chelsea called Champions League. It was disaster under Thomas Tuchel. Now, Frank Lampard, Babe Jebe twice. So the next season, Graham Potter, but it did not work. The season where they didn't go for the Champions League, they didn't play in Europe, plus 19 points. Comfortable, they qualify back to Europe. Then Manchester City, the last time they had to watch City, they only appear here once, and it was late. Post Pep, and that's why I see that City
2009, 2010.
Astonishing. That's why I thought there's a super squad depth that City had. 2008, 2009, 2009, 2010 plus 17 points. The manager in question very important, and also the squad quality. That is when they were rebuilding Manuel Pellegrini, Mancini, everybody City team until Pep Guardiola took over. Now for Liverpool 15-16, this is Jurgen Klopp plus 16 points. Arsenal 2020, 2021, 2021, 2022 plus 8 points. Manchester United 13, 14, 14, 15 plus 6 points. Spurs 23, 24 also plus 6 points. Then Liverpool in 2 seasons they dropped by minus 6 points in terms of point. Now why do I say City for an outlier of the data? Only an outlier because City in the last few years in terms of spend and player quality have been one of the best of Premier League. This is a team or Champions League Rodri Cascante in 1 January. They can go to the market, bring on Nico Gonzalez, Okofa Abdulkader Kosenov. All of them were January purchases.
Yeah.
All of these players, Antoine Semenyo, Mark Gay, Spain's quality and the sheer depth are good at City. So they constantly could not pick last season. Now go back now kind City for midfielders are. He had Matthias Nunes, who is naturally a midfielder playing from fullback. Nico Oriali is a midfielder, he plays him from fullback. Matteo Kovacic was teaming him. He had Bernardo Silva there last season. He had Rodri Cascante there last season. Nico Gonzalez was in the team. He had Tijani Randes was in the team. Rico Lewis is a midfielder. Almost 9. That is depth.
Okay, so the issue in Kalawa say Manchester United beat me league this season. Obezo chance yenya cases team all ball Europe na all ball league aya modern one head down fa.
Can say usually there is data that backs.
Okay.
So the Europe babe count, especially the Champions League. I know points they drop it.
Okay.
And my next question to him is, how does he think United will be able to be an outlier, City outlier? And you can see from the data.
Yeah.
Then United beats me. Does he think Michael Carrick is too good a manager? That is the reason why United can be an outlier. Again, does he also think Abia quality is too good as compared to Chelsea, Arsenal in these times, and that's why they will be an outlier? What is his thinking with that? Then we'll move on to mine.
Okay, so with Manchester United, league in the Arsenal, Mr. Mamin correct, Arsenal. Maybe the Arsenal first.
Okay.
And I'm saying Manchester United can rejoice in the misfortunes of the other traditional clubs to find a way to place a proper position on the table. And with fee, can you see, as I said earlier, Manchester United in terms of squad depth ain't mean competing in the Champions League. But I know Carrick and the fans should accept the fact that it has been a stage so they will need the consistency in the Premier League so that maybe we top 4 be also to be, then they will qualify for the next stage.
Okay,
that's what we are saying here. So if a Manchester United team travel be na Champions League a new phase, you boy we na on kanwa any issue. But in the Premier League, you watch Nkakra from last season. How they maintain their players, the epicacracy. I hate some of the clubs. The new coach is Sabano. He can use that environment to place a proper position. Or be finding a way through. Meaning, if it's clear. Yeah. So, with answer to the question, maybe say, is for them accepting and trading some of the tournament, especially maybe the Champions League, using the arsenals they have right now to place well in the domestic trophies, so that MBA disappointment. Then the focus will be on the Premier League, because that is where I am say Manchester City, some of the quality left. Chelsea, Niwaba, even uncertainties home, and Zobeko on Coney and Tottenham, a lot of players are joining. So for the coach to even assemble them, those who are returning from injuries, how they will fit and have that chemistry with the new ones, remember, and they still even want to buy. Manchester United can chance on these opportunities and find ways and meander their way through. That's what is on the paper. Okay. And the reason why I factor the elements in here, say they know the terrain kakra. So maybe if only the Premier League, they will not fumble a lot. If only the Premier League. So Manchester United should factor the Premier Leagues in their books. Concentrate on the Premier League because Champions League in the corner United fee maybe do omo bana say omo intinya
yeah but we need your matter so you say where you are.
The problem is that say Kingsman Madrid in
yes.
No matter how bad Madrid gets,
yes,
there is no Madrid executive, coach, player that will say, oh, this isn't the we just want to go to the Champions League and go and compete. And I'm sorry, say I am Madrid near. I say that, oh, I didn't FIFA compare Madrid to Manchester United. In the grand scheme of things in football, when you speak of Madrid, in the context of the same sense in Europe, if you speak of Liverpool, you speak of Manchester United. Yeah. It's a great club in the Champions League. The last 10 years, in a new machine shine. So United, for now, have gotten a chance to go back to Europe. For them, it is going to be a chance to go back there to go and win.
Yeah, but there I see a showcase.
Yes,
I'm almost say you fit trophy no.
And that is the thing, and he points it out, and I think a big psychological battle.
Okay,
United for okay, you're back Champions League, you know, between the Champions League, any domestic competitions, any coming back to the Champions League, what do you have to do? I mean, in fact, I think that is the trick for most of the clubs. It was the trick Arsenal were able to get through last season, 2 seasons ago and 3 seasons ago. And in the Champions League, also Arsenal are competitors. Let me explain to you. Arsenal, let's go back to the Champions League. You know, the dream was not to get to the final and win it. In rebuilding clubs, and again, it was the biggest problem Chelsea had last season. Last season, you make a say, and your Chelsea dream and answer goal is to win the Champions League last season. No. So the plan is to constantly be available and be competing, to be reappearing, especially in the English Premier League. Because it is better Arsenal or go first one and or quarter final. Then the next one, quarter final, I think it was Paris Saint-Germain also in the uniform. Yes. Then they went to the next one again.
Finals.
Before then, in that run to that, no come Madrid with Miles Lewis Kelly. The experience of the previous Champions League and the fact that they could build on it. Chelsea, this advantage is that this season, after playing the Champions League last season, they could not qualify. So you can't build on that experience in the following season. So in agreement, Manchester United this season should focus on staying in the Champions League for the next season.
Okay.
And the problem is that for a club the stature of Manchester United, that is something that they won't buy. And that is why the other side of the argument is that any stockpile in terms of depth and quality. That is why for me, a big thing. For me, unless maybe you do January, and United are comfortably in third, second, like Griezmann is predicting. For me to say that okay, they can go back to it. Because, granted, you need Tielemans or a good player. In fact, he adds a lot more to the United team. Short passing, wide range passing, shooting out from the back. You want
that Rodrigo star now at the Man City, no? Vibe in
it. Build up the amount. Carlos Baleba, and I said it the last time here. The problem the United made for is that everybody is a technician. Most of the people who have not watched Andre Santos think that Andre off the ball player. No, Andre is not. In the French Liga, he tried. But about Chelsea last season, without the ball, there are a lot of spaces to cover. You will not be able to do it alone. You can't put the host of Manchester United in the hands of Andre Santos to be the number 6 that controls the game for you without the ball. 3. Carlos Baleba, an excellent player by all standard. Carlos's biggest strength is the ball carrying ability from deep, also as part of ball progression and in the technical strength of the player. Bruno Fernandes looks like a final third killer, assists and goals last season. We saw the record with Timmy Setima and Team friend Manchester United in that regard. So quality, but almost all of them is centered in the technical side of the game. And for me, that is what makes me a little bit worried. But we can move on from my stage. I don't know. This Chelsea makes me edited.
Okay, I want to add something to Nhyira. Can you see? And with Nhyira, in the starting of every season, your teams, you know, how they set their goals and how they will achieve it. So, with respect to Manchester United season now, you see, the goals of Manchester United team needs to be clear. Standard never from Kakra. So the goal is for them, who are Manchester United, for accept the fact that standard number form for you to be very consistent in the Premier League, maybe the top 4. European rules is here. So if you made mention of Arsenal, the number of times or mobile, even Paris Saint-Germain, Obeko final, Barcelona for 12 seasons, Waba semi, Waba quarter, he's still trying. Even up to now, Barca for no crown, they are still after also Mbetimiaje. So the clear thing here said the goal for Manchester United should be consistent in the Premier League, because the objectives in the want to achieve goals, and what are the objectives? The squading depth and a whole lot of which Manchester United any squading depth, for the long season. You can see the Premier League, Aquaji Champions League. Chelsea and Thomas to come. Understand the fumble in the Premier League. So that is one thing I was a Manchester for this. So said the objectives needs to be clear. Say be consistent in the Premier League. Just exploit the misfortunes of some of the teams, because carry back so that they can get a very proper position on the table.
Govi yentimi to asem say they can the best set na etna yaba na yaba be dis ankomo no.
And match or honum here start season no.
Yeah. Mo dey my code ne na etna
omko figure see.
Yet me di hunkomo ye.
Very important. Yetie for omko figure see na see omko no mutimi ko na omko kucha. I bet we call Michelle Ocean Nhyira TV. I will take a screenshot and that's what pick it. First one, BW 6A 62 DB 39. Second one, BW 6A 62 C3 96. Third one, BW 6A 62 B7 D8. Fourth one BW 6A 62 A8 4. And our last one BW 6A 5E 14 B9. And we have 2 codes. Okay. And boy, we are hoping say we'll start the weekend also with a streak. No?
Okay. Fifi Manfred and the Kingsman Kalala na ede enso ekoma yedi enkomo bebre. In fact, they tell say you be nkomo kakra na mo na tembia mu bisa ye pe car tod na car papa ben na ye benya ye pe be spray your car na say the ifre nyina spray asi asa wo ya car no na ye mpato we de Madaroma ye de niema pa na ye de ma wonim say multimedia ye ma fake thing ye de quality na ye de amamo eni nti na no pe mama mo amwa automobile na amwa for ha na you assume ye pa uyo bi a pe car to emprempre ya ye wei car ben kra na ye available sisi a wonso nsa betimi aka na opeso spray o car so a die na ambaye atese obetimi enya eye obi papa ni papa tie ni ye spray ya papa no spray o car no ahun komo na mede bro obapa good morning.
Good morning.
Na mpom to say
nyame adom na so e
nyame adom yenso ho ye pa me hu musia na amamani age because akwa ba queen safo we fatlo we mo fra safo mfa ma no na metie bi na ne car no ofri ha wo sori ya hwehwe mo okọ udu reception am kato mo so mo nche osafo ne car na yesa mo fa na mo kopinti de bread no because ne car na de safo car na de nye yeni nkomo kakra ene minimatie for de na mo e de emaye first of all.
Okay, ye bedi can share every cars na yetono.
Okay.
A automobile enterprise oba na opeka ato. Obon mo se mi nim car ebeboa me. Nti mo moa me na me hu car ebeboa me.
Okay.
Se o ma ye hu car ope. Ye color ni bibia yɛbɛtumi ama wo saa car no ama watumi de akɔ sɛ nso woba garage no bi ni garage yɛbɛtumi aboa ma wa akra car no bi a wɔyɛ de ɔpɛ ɛne wɔ payment plan nti sɛ woba bɛtɔ car nsuro ɛnka sɛ sisi a metumi nkare sika boom ɛmfa ntɔ car because of your payment plan nti no woma yɛhu car korɔ ne biribi a wopɛ no yɛbɛtumi na watena ase yɛsɛ yɛbɛkyɛm ama wo mmiɛnsa anaa mmienu depending on wo wahoɔden na yɛsɛ yɛtumi ɛna watena ase ayɛ saa nhyehyɛeɛ no ansa na wo nsa ayɛ den ɛtumi aka wo car nti sɛ obi pɛ sɛ wɔtɔ car obi pɛ baabi atɔ car ɔmbra Amoa Automobile Enterprise ɛbɛma ne car papa obetimi AUC.
Okay, so my understanding of kakra wakai obi tie ebia na adwuma a ɔyɛ no ohia car ebetimi aboa adwuma na ɔyɛ na so mo be advice ade ama nipa no to tell the person say oh so ɔyɛ adwuma A adwuma B dia car say na bɛboa.
Yes,
right.
And it's not even about so ye juma A and I juma B. Say most people don't know cars they are supposed to go in for.
Oh, okay.
Because upon ma what take care be wasem or tea and I was you make a kotosa can or name the way as I can a juma ACVT or name the nantie or name the BBA. Or man who saw se make tokan. So once I over tokan and chena can man the problems no one see.
Okay.
Inti your cars be one we are very reliable and they are very good for yen setting and ye quine.
Oh, okay.
Cars be also so on ma or turn one ye care for 10 be a problem. It is Obama Automobile Enterprise. Ya be man is san who no move munina and san what Timmy Kratokano. Yes.
Oh, send in Komoya there because me peccato na menyo be a car no or betchem ne engine. Ebia engine free 2 years echo no problem.
Yes.
And ebia minus. Ebia car ni fuel on some. Bo 2.5 oko we there be M1 one kasa adwuma be nkra na ayo okay me adwuma be man to be nya say there be ene obeto fuel say we more car ne body dan kasa kra no kwan am person de fa so no eno so mo ansa na mbe mani pa na to car na mama ni pa na to car no
me pa try.
Oh wow mo he
me wo
and I said because komo here there
you will cut a Pemso First Junction. It is so free Emina neighbor Udru Emina filling station Kinspep will take you right hand side. Oba Biju Pemso First Junction and your signboard see why I trust so Amoa Automobile Enterprise. Your banners nebu bufi in the name, your big gates neka kaka. Ufi de diakoso and neighbor. Udru de diakus station. I also pa Pemso First Junction. Your mouth direction ma Biju Pemso First Junction. Your signboard needs to your trust so Amoa Automobile Enterprise. Banners nebu bufi in him. Your big gates neka kaka. We use your phone. Ubetimi aseche Amoa Automobile Enterprise or Google Map. And the Baba Honoma in Yarakai. Number no ye 0244 46 57 64 0244 46 57 64.
Now they hear me pa a payment plan because nipa be bree I'll make sure ma omo pekato be budget no do amount ebia omo suppose car no mediator. Now, the ame person me who said, oh, ebia ope car to a with the 70% amount to bar down payment ya. Ebia the car be money ya spread it 30 no. Edi about okay. And I say ebia with the 50% beba not ya spread it there can I then. Edi money ebia we to send a plan and capacity.
Oh, plan ne day for beginners ne day over 50%. Okay. So ye 50% and ya spread it there can I then. Amount according to what you say.
Okay.
Inti mo say boy or mom ye aban ejuma. Nti wo ya aban ejuma say no. Or say okay I have 50% I meet me etua. Then 50% no every month be ano. No matter kakra free me salary mo. What you say. Ye wo bibi sa so ye den. E wo honom. Enti no de hianza wo de obeba. No me ye hu o dia ye ma wa ebebo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So me person me hu the normal thing you say ebia ye for 6 months but what I say ye for 3 months and now say eya na ejina nipa no na ho de ni sikatua so na mo de spread the month no e de man na say range e da ho say ye ntra ebia 6 months and now say ebia ye ntra 12 months enti mo de na ye say yankasa.
Oh, for now ne de ye no nipa na ho de.
Oh, okay.
Na hoɔden, but na hoɔden ne crown pony yamma na kosora na be 6 months.
Oh, okay.
What I say? Yeah.
Okay. Me das. Now, ye wie car no obi pe bi ato no. Wanya bi ato. Ebi a wakotwia be 10 years. Ana se bia on header ehwe car so ye. We de hwehye awie ma after 3 years. Kala na fade. Kala na wash out. Waba so oba be speaker. Ede na mo ye ni different here. Car ni so atumi say eni the brown new no difference ni said the nim bebre. De na mo ye no.
Okay. So what do car ba say in stream on say kai bia o car code. Okay. Enti ye bo paint papa na de aye adwuma no e de amount. Aside that no processes no so ye nya abotre pass it through every process and sani akọ the next one no. You make sure see about reach perfection and sani akọ next one no. Eno ton chain no so no. Ye wo spraying butter bebre na nim no oven. Aye the car ni shima ye spray car na ye de ema. So spraying butter ni see the car ni shima. Your lighting system ni very powerful to the extent say scratches be wo car ho and a dent be wo car ho. Lighting system to me detect say ahanim say 40 day ewo ho. So one ye car no ansa na one ye sa 40 na ansa na we spray. Once obi spray car na we na baby a lights no a chair say problem one no. Let us see day ewo ho. Enti spraying boots ninti eboa me hit me ye adwuma no anytime because of spraying boots in so to any problem. We are boy any problem. And from a bian be hungu car so mafia spray car and we only said as a point BCCC car now there be because it protect car no from those and one and name from money BBA. And to spray boots in yes, the car shimmy spray mower. Who can abaka say the auto free abruche day at the buy.
Wow. Any because Mr. Alessi Kay. We can sit na can sit shania. And me bizans na Mr. Les I fa pa na. Ukos spray o kaya can ya come. Safo temi a ene ya kan wase no mpato ya ntempa na koko spray o ka no. For now, one thing you say ebia obi de ne car ba. How many months because obi car betimi akwa spray. Wa we aka no kran we be visa o car. And then etna atekra amotomabo obi di ne car ba atekra how many days?
Oh yeah, the other car ba ye ma maximum 2 weeks. Okay 2 weeks near we will car no amount because you factor all things being equal at the shame into 2 weeks no best so na say o car ni we amawa or the wadi de echo
some mam location na mam number why
me pacho ye wo kote apemso first junction ofri de diako eneba udru apemso udru de diako station also apemso first junction o ma direction ma obetru ho no ba udru apemso first junction e signboard si wo ya trust amwa automobile enterprise e banes ne bobo fie ne ma ye bie gate ne kakaka ofri emna se ne ba udru emna filling station Kinspep honoma take you right hand side oba bidru apemso first junction signboard ni si wo ya trust amwa automobile enterprise. We use your phone so abetimi search Amwa Automobile Enterprise e wo Google Map. Or the baba ho a enye your akwan. Number no see 0244 46 57 64 0244 46 57 64. Pacho ene enye spraying nko a ene ye wo Amwa Automobile Enterprise. Ye body works, ye air condition, ye seat lining, yeah, car waxing, the door name no polishing. Ain't it so a problem with new manaya bossing, you know, spraying, body wax, seat lining, air conditioning, polishing, all those things, you know. Bra Amwa Automobile Enterprise. Also, per se car, Bra Amwa Automobile Enterprise, a bebo with me in your car, ope.
Yeah, that's a problem. Said next week, so you bet was near Dinkomoye. Na Maria Sabia, a motor phone so much me bar. Motor phone so to me bar. Okay, me that's a pa. At more automobile, Anna, any woman so a Dinkomo. I now do cana call no matter I had the amount per council. Na a jar one so walk on that one soon, sir. At me, I can't there. Yeah, I got the moon full package, Anna, a day amount. Not your best, na your baby D. A few cobo. Ghana Premier League na nchene started no other FA Congress no enso eba so na FA Congress ni sempi na epiemo number 1 yes sisia no Premier League clubs ni nyina league ni besasia obia wo 1 million Ghana cedis inkani 10 million and ye ma club obia a seed money atese ubetimi edi asase na wodi abo Ghana Premier League no anwanti league winner Jobedi League na nkasa no enya 3 million Ghana cedis enkani 30 billion mutie nie enkani 30 billion ana Jobedi eye league no enso ensa ekam Jobedi runners up ebenya 1 million enso enkani titiskana eno eye 10 eye billion and also 10 billion so onya na fe de obeto so 9 enunum no de so miensa ebenya 10,000 Ghana cedis and na fe enan no enso ya 750,000 Ghana cedis no Ghana Premier League no ankasa anwanti women's football so de obedi women's football no yebabo awie no so winner no omuso omusika kakra boyi pa ana ema no so enya na etimi aye kama ye pa afe hs joba win league no we benya car na car no benya nebo 33,000 Ghana cedis eno mema ne de afe ema ne de jo oba win no so no ano so benya car a nebo no 29,000 Ghana cedis best player our Ghana Premier League no benya 5,000 Ghana cedis best player our women's football Wanonsu ebenya 5,000 Ghana cedis afe uhwema DPL coaches no their season ni bewie ye be ajaje no as best coach no wanonsu ebenya 5,000 Ghana cedis and a women's football best coach wanonsu benya 5,000 afe best domestic Black Stars player ubenya ka ana womede Benjamin Sawika ade ema no mo chese si e bosses ni wie le bia ya mo wie kwa na Black Stars call paba yenya local player okobo Black Stars ni bi eno season no ewie sa 138,000 Ghana cedis ka ana yede ema division 1 wo so clubs ni nyina no enso ebenya package eno so 16,000 okay 16.24 million Ghana cedis atese any whole package for division 1 no ana afensu each a man football no so no will be ebenya 100,000 Ghana cedis ake as a kickstart na etime enso abua yepa former national team players no so benefit no and also for 4 years and also and also $200,000 you know dia FA no edi eba na Ketan kasa etechensemu etese niema wo mede agu akwema eba beboa Manchester League no and so ako enimnie FA president Mr. Kate ES Okraku.
This year, for the season beginning 2026-2027, each of the GPL clubs would receive 1 million Ghana cedis each again. I don't think I felt the energy. Or perhaps I should just withdraw the offer. The winner of the GPL will take home 3 million Ghana cedis this year. Total, we're going to pay 9.5 million in prize money for the just ended GPL season.
Okay, well, I know you Mr. Kate Sokraku, FA president, and command Congress Nasia, what do to Edjani na year, and Ghana good yemun Sam do hasso, Kofi Adams. And so I didn't come back to as a Ghana Premier League na but no dream with you. What is a come here, sir, and near Broche de see power because who him as a competition. Yadi born England, no, and had there now. A pet na with the Yentin Sama. We pay in and so a kind of the way. Officer man for being so no, Tracy Nasem no, Kofi Idi Adams in Koma, what the 2 Idani.
Our league is competing with the English Premier League, the Championship League, TikTok, streaming platforms, gaming, and every other form of entertainment available on the mobile phone. We are competing with all these platforms. So don't think you are alone. That is why you must do things to attract Have you seen any butterfly move to any plant without flowers or fruit? So you need to create something to attract them. They don't owe you. We actually have a responsibility towards them.
Okay, Yara Kofi Adams in some okay saying na esitia. What you see a league no? And English abrotima with the na say jasise ne pepepe. And it's one year be strong kwa. Abema Ghana Premier League no. Enimatumi abanyama one way ya. Na satensi ni nyina ekoko disro. Enti ase ye niema ebetimi aboana Ghana Premier League no. Eno so etimi again wait kakra. Eno ye nkomo ni ntiremu papatia. Papa no so ede etu edwa ewo eye dwumade so. Now judo usu ba for
Minia.
Good morning.
Good morning. Saturday stars. Friday.
Isa pusha ba nim. Pusha ba nim.
Oh, but why is sweet?
Sounds why sweet. Say ja minim say die fe wi ayi say o ma beda wase a say na say asore na obey. Say white no wase.
O mo beda amase.
Sa.
O mo beda amase. We dey me outfit.
Ka say na say asore.
David. Eje na me dey mase bebre beba.
Well, yen nkomo. Yen start no adinyama to trader this time around send anka bia ye kwa agenda bebre no ziade efe no straightforward. It's all about the Ghana Premier League the coming season and then the prize money nearma ebetimi aboa ye football no amano akoso yemfa Kofi Adams nsem no and so and say as your sports minister
onim enra sports minister kasa yie pa me bona baso hwe me kroma no hu ade ba ko amahuni say usually yehu caption how I paraphrase ade no headline no nipa ni hu pe no wa peke no ompe asem na ntie enti ogire no so na obahye so what's this ade no kroma
yeah
enra no bi na onim say honestly speaking na me ya ade enti na me nyantie sports minister enti asem ye okan ya no metu me bua metie ni asase mintie no na me kra me dwane ba metu me bua metie ni ye asem na okan the context e mo de kan asem no ena me hu say oh papa no asem na okan on kan body say Gabi anu abi na be kaya be 2 days ago so hu social media media na bi normal and oti adwuma na se asane ma no mfa anya asem but advisable say normally say obi kan asem a na bia hu caption bia try say asem na nkasa na nipa ne kan no obepe etie anya mu nkyiremu ansa na what draw conclusions. Gabi asema minister kan no me no nyina nim say ene your global village otie your global village ankane no say Ghana ye boy en lega omo no more opportunity and accessibility na e kakra bi se enye ya ye okrom hanom na nkasa na Gabi na edin because that time no ye need their friend TikTok meboa Instagram ne na se phone na eni ho social media handles and ye keka na uni bibi e friend social media handles se enye paper ya bobo wie na open ball mu nsem atia wentie o radio so ebia GBC nom wentie me ne ahemfa na obenya atie
there's a graphics
just offer graphic enuntina sa time na Kotoko Express nso no ne bo aba be day time na Kotoko hihye niema yie na at a point no se opese oto graphica ye ma Kotoko Express and the graphic atato because they do baby mpo na graphics ni mpo na enkosa enti Kotoko Express na the ton graphics. Oh, said you know me, no. Nti Gabi, ade ni nie. Ti saa time na accessibility. Na o form ye pa. But Gabi, the only say super sports e ba enye ene.
Yeah.
Because me kai say me kra la bon yesterday kra no. Na ye super sports. But not Ghana League. Unya baby, the only thing I don't say GTV sports highlights. Ye ra kwab na ye boa.
Abeyi kakra.
Abeyi kakra, wapono kakra bi amoahwe. Gabi, you've got no choice. Just say Oko Stadium. And yes, I team one person support here open. Unya nimsho. Unya hunso ntem. And at the advent of radio, how many radio stations in Pona sa period na all system? tis when ye GBC numbina omo ampane ho nsem kakra amfa ma wa o kwa tie ni wai but so asem na see
yeah
enti obi ope agro ni bia no se eben na ope se baby e wo no okono okoko hebi but any all the luxury mitifie ye EPL our channels bebre so platforms bebre EPL and I mean na bi on multi ko Facebook baby ubo say game akra wunim say ubenya ahwe no na go he and your platform ba kwa subscribe it to it no matches o wiase nyina wo hwe mebo a matches o wiase nyina person hwe wo hwe into accessibility no e wo ho ti say Gabi accessibility no wo ho dia e kire say your options are plenty say sa na kire yeah and your options are plenty then na wo dey ma me consume dia wo dey ma me consume no e adia me appreciate ya na
is there something exceptional?
That is the point because you are in a competitive market. Kotoko elbow the game 3. Elbow the game 3 area no. Sam record now so EPL matches each year.
Ebi Manchester be football game.
Elbow. Ebi Liverpool be elbow ni die. Ebi abeko Spain so La Liga matches be so Gabi koso. And then so no ball no interest na sa koso say a business kese pass a man for side betting. Say 50 man fed or my betting course.
Yeah, of course.
Baby or Japadi on so a hono akuma wo. And the Gabi imagine say 50 man fed my betting course no. Now boys na kwa channel. Oh we are Gabi him for now full send interest in beko. And your baby am invest. Hono me interest beko more. And no so you wa hanu more in a way unim you at a huge disadvantage because you competing globally. And you competing globally no. Some big teams here I come one semi crown. No person unya kwan show mo kra accessibility ne say more.
Or some quality so as
quality the coverage untimi no in terms of the coverage in terms of commentary how our position ne ho ne bibia mu no onto no so ahu et essence a wonto na accessibility no ho no Gabi there was a wo ye ne say sisa oniema ye sa na payin ne pese okire sisa oniema ye membe da ho say olege no ana ball no said you obebo ni bia ne said you obe ni bia no amanfo be patronize there be antisa mami reason I was a major Real Madrid game sheba be kotoko game and aba be hwe Hartford game tie me ba stadium no hu me be tua 30 cedis me be tua 50 cedis me ba ne so disadvantage ni nie me wa metimi akwa ko tua 10 cedis DStv center me ko tua DStv center 10 cedis na me hwe matches be 4-5 the whole day not me hwe Gabi she difference you know me san fa car bia baby kra na ha to folk airborne the ball me wotema me fa car na mabankran aba be she ha to folk game in and out bia me we kra case kan kwan so age me be 30 cedis to 40 cedis and sana me ba stadium hon so ticket me ba bicha and me show one game awie na me go close to 100 cedis and one ma me reason also me be show Gabi e be den maba no so what papa na
of course
what am I reason I mama me show because already accessibility me want options are plenty and the quality I mean from coverage BBM no and yes our quality number ba benya ha nti ente saade na say na appreciate the fact say baby a edru no or say a lot of innovations near sisi aniema yie and asem na papa ne airsign kan wo Gabi sanhwe adibi from perspective wey so no
oh yeah ko bisa say sisi Ghana Premier League no o ka so be star boy ben kra na wo why na e the poster e the ma league no
e ho na na me Gabi unim first one only choice first thing na ani anim say Premier League na asefo ho no only choice enti don ball table baller Charles Taylor baller Emmanuel Seko for baller Gabi Obeba
no Obeba
Stephen Odru baller Oma
Obeba
Michael say baller Emma Power baller Oma
and even to the extent said then time no yeah they say na eja you krunki twam ni adinti even krumbo say bia ball no kra say na obeba be nya bia be na TV so ben kra na but the time 3-9 ebebo ball ne de wakwafom said den we be do fiansa na 3 number
Gabi
not to ready who tie game no
Gabi and then the only say Kotokone has Bisaman Fombo so munim data Ghana Premier League Sasia. Uti. Na bisa almost say Kotoko first game obebon dabe. Has first game obebon dabe.
There be some Manchester this year.
But be some Manchester obekatcho unim reason no. Because say no kan sa anticipation sa odo pepa any ade no. Eni ho no kra wo no. Etie na titru no ye na ne pese boy local league no de wuru no. E ma ye bre. Cause no kra as a no kra na papa no e kan. Gabi first in one ufre phone by na calendar no create me hwe bi okro mo ka mentina ekra da ba mi
no ateke
mo take me bo take enti o timi sese niema akere wo se nyame pa eda se kotoko be bo ne ball minimum so fufu bi o timi
me see be kwa phone bansa na game ni start
minimum so fufu bi o timi ka che o se kotoko bo game enti o preach a sanko be pon 2 or be pon 12 no akra asori ma so no be ko stadium as of 4 crowd the man for stadium because that time no go stadium the excitement go stadium no e dey brown na ye enormous so one go stadium onim that time no so one go stadium as o yare o dey steady side no say obi ko no mba be kan ho asem try because mo be ba be dru no mo be ba ko so etinye ba ko so wo dey nkomo Charles Taylor eye move bi sa move ni e kan ho asem o say ko 4 ya ade bi o
go we bia be si there no be kan
yes Ismail say go bi sa go no be kan ho asem Emmanuel Ajogu je ball e kan nipa be 4-5 bi bomu kene sapon ententen wa ho e ya ade bi Edmond Corson Medford honom no o pai so bi ma ball ne koto atena na say o ma pass ba kuma ni bie defense ni o be kan ho asem ajatete e ye move bi ana ehu Jacob Mete e defending na said you defending na akono sani wa ha bi ade bi bi da me ba twa me boa
of course
ma me tro secret ba ko ya ka no sa time no almost say national team jersey won say yes Blasters ba na ye pu adi omo achi they inter Blasters ba ye pu di omo achi because a brand that a huge akono is so appealing enti ehu Blasters ase ehu de ehu that time no tie Ismail Ado national team jersey she Oseko a captain Blasters otimi captain Blasters Yusuf Chepsa we are singing has 6 Ghana under 23 top stars no kwano na Yusuf Chepsa timi captain Ghana under 23 and to play or no captain Black Matthias Obokotoko o mama meheno Gabi Oma
obeba
Oma mehema ki osemba power mu because unim and na a leg no I been I am here say the League of Stars La Liga home.
La Liga.
The League of Stars.
La Liga.
Ghana League uti. Na the League of Stars oh. Because Daniel Yabua Argentina every liberty to Kotoko no. No Australian national team jersey. Enti a stars na all kwakwa.
Okay.
And not just average players who players who me extraordinary. Who elevate you or more the free hand. Near the omo the highest level. Ghana boy against Nigeria national team utie Taibo West mu nyina ejinemu Fini the George mu ejinemu Charles Taylor ati omo ayo omo ho adwuma ma omo bisase Bama
akọ obo team ben
na obo abrochire
Mekai Athens
Greece na Greece Athens
look at the way they sit
yen hwe niam yi o titie senipa no akwa stars adenti na onko Obeko because oku obenya the needed satisfaction. Enye player ba ko pen e ba bedi no nkomo. Obi ade da re ye ka players ahodo ho asem. So say dey na admit
okay.
George Kigali Jojo. Kwa Jojo because obeko the national team obedo obey safety bi. But enen wo you feel say national team utie. Say na local players kwa na from on national team no. E be ye chopper. Yes, I was seeing a quota, and yes, I eka. I don't see the eka so seeing a quota. Yeah, can you say because you himself quality no? Okay, so be a mu pass and the professionals no. A brochure for me and co for each now. One say ye in your bakum poem, so a problem no. It's your best as a more my quota for the local league. But first, no, I am self for quota. Net talents ranka say no. No, they speak for themselves. Now. How do we get those talents back? My mejitum say generation be our players are producing yenim no cre. But only my dear, as my sports minister can sports minister bet me aboye pa. Say na efe ɛyɛ na afa mu deɛ but adeɛ ni hu sɛ na FA president kasa no mesre no wayɛ adeɛ but the many timu nya ne de yendru baabi a because sika na wo ka no utie hu sɛ ɛyɛ no me clubs na sɛ me hu sa energy no mo manje me so ana sɛ mu on ha wo kasa no de kasa ne kwaye sɛ asɛ yɛ adeɛ onwaso unim wayɛ adeɛ nye so onya adeɛ Gabi tie asɛm na me bɛka ni wayɛ adeɛ but yɛnti adeɛ bi ase enko baabi asa o unim de yɛnti enko baabi asa asante kotoko say clubs no obi enya 1 million
the
Ghana
next 2
cedis.
minutes per
Obi enya 1 million Ghana cedis. Asante kotoko every month utie ne budget 1 million Ghana cedis. So ya we Gabi say ofa clubs bia metie me nua Atapuku which me bought Ataba so because Ataba generally said na okanin sem ne criticism the barrage of criticism odema FA no obaba be ye CEO oba agronum no asesa meboa enura so obo FA na baso no cre or say at least 1/3 of clubs no ebi because we see in clubs ne be budget etimi hu adwuma so it's good but or say say clubs ni bi nso kotokone has no level no omuye budget 1 million Ghana cedis so man 1 million Ghana cedis for the entire season a chance na boss me ba ko budget no take care of Gabi wanya point no ha etimi nkasa onya ade why are there but amount trimu nya o dese asa why are there hu a e wo se ba be ye anigye pa eye but utie say ya nya ne sa mo adwena maso say de mo ye ni de aye o why are there na mu mo say mo ye more there is more to be done because the clubs are suffering now here can say no and the best sports minister so say FNI na afamu de they expected to do more Nemum abayne nso muwa abayne muwa no Gabi abayne muwa me kan
entity way abroad on that aspect no etna ye ba ye will luxury tam e will local no then ya discuss anu ye pa so ma ye fa so na Kofi hwe ba be 3 minutes from me minim se bia be hwe scan Kofi
we will not be able to have this conversation in the next just 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't have to say we don't any see so you let me just go ahead and do the job I have to do. Gab, Mr. Sports Minister voiced the game on the competition that the Ghana Premier League face.
Okay.
Our league is competing with the English Premier League, the Championship League, TikTok, streaming platforms, gaming, and every other form of entertainment available on the mobile phone. We are competing with all these platforms. So don't think you are alone. That is why you must do things to attract. Have you seen any butterfly move to any plant without flowers or fruit? So you need to create something to attract them. They don't owe you. We actually have a responsibility towards them. Let me announce that.
So there were just 3 points. One of them, Gab, Asema Minister Kaino, a purely marketing. Now, there may pay in what the minister said now is that we are not in marketing. There is the first thing that we call the brand positioning. It's we waiting the product you positions the product as ABR number 1 on the markets no a Gabi products no. But maybe person me ye dia obi entimi to buy bia Gabi products no boarding. Inti me person me be ye dia affordable as untimi to Gabi dia na no na but to media no. So you market as an inferior to a brand, a certain brand. Now, in football, the biggest mistake we would have done was to market the Ghana Premier League as inferior to the EPL and then become an alternative to the EPL. The ambassador Cheney say, many a Jesse minister nebano. One man make say, we are not competing with the EPL. And unti odia, omo show me EPL and share. Debbie. We are not. You see, after that, what Mabo Minister Abasono, Asudi Danaso, Ejumanoso, and it goes beyond yesterday talking to the football club chairman and owners. It is a bigger job of creating an enabling environment, creating a thriving environment, and then making sure that the football is incentivized and then the brand is protected. One.
Niema Baku Mienu Miensobekaya, a survey about how Ghanaians and why Ghanaians don't go to the stadium. The key thing, one of the key things that came out was hooliganism. We need to protect the brand. Into what position will brand? Then you protect the brand from things like hooliganism, corruption. Because if the brand is not trusted, it will never be able to compete for the many eyeballs on TikTok, as the minister said. Me ene unimade I'm hooked on TikTok. Aviation documentaries. There are a lot of pilots. We ask ya phone. No more recorded from time dress it. No I fly who show you because somebody plane I'm usually fascinated. Then idea kesi we could just through 8 hours and it doesn't come down. So that's what the last 1 week they be amishe. But because I'm a football fan, I always find myself close to also football content. That is what I do. But the 3 key things that we need to do, in my opinion, to make sure that if we want to compete with the English Premier League, we should be able to do. I'll start from the 3rd one before I come to the 1st one. Now, Jude Kasimbi said those days we had players that were stars. The captain of the Meteors, the captain. Do you know why? Because they were stars. Unim niente obi be funny phone. Now no power 10. Obi was in the office. It is not sometimes just because of Nhyira FM. Sometimes it is because of the personalities at Nhyira FM. Open go to Tobinko office before I join. Now accountants. Me may call for me interview no jag me dey am show. Personality. You create stars, you create personalities, people will watch them. Why? How do we create personalities? Gab, Ufri Ejesu, Konongo, Nauba. Have you seen a billboard of a Kotoko player before? So how would that fascinate the regular football fan to go and watch him?
Okay.
So me convince me back at so there is a player on share border, on core national team that they don't have that. But how do I convince them that this is the player that I showed you on the billboard? So let's go and watch him on a Sunday when we are doing nothing. Maybe I call lunch or go into him, and we want to go there and go and have that, go and watch that player.
Okay.
It is very, very important. And my second one, the first one also, and for mom. The first one I wanted to talk about is very important. The marketing of the Ghana Premier League has to be in the faces of people. You're starting English Premier League. So I will say, no, me see the amount. So I'm 3 minutes. So who Roman always see time into my fancy. You're creating fantasy Premier League. One fantasy Premier League. Champions League. So there is fantasy Premier League. So
yes, of course.
Exactly. It is not just because in conformable. It is marketing. So you are playing even a virtual form of the league. It's supposed to be targeted marketing. It's supposed to be concerted marketing. It's supposed to be intentional marketing. Branding of your players. Finally, because the football has not shown to be the best in the last few years, it is imperative for us to build a league beyond just football entertainment.
Okay.
Can bring people to the stadium. It has to be intentional generally. And their minister it comes down to marketing.
Okay.
We need to involve league never starting. And me, Ochina will get time. Mr. Ket, yes, Okreku has done so well. But the biggest indictment on the league is the lack of proper marketing. What is jingle on the league? What's any billboard on the league? Those are the issues.
30 seconds. I'm Prince Opokwajman. Baby, any gold star soccer brand here. Mediema was signed a 1-year deal with Karela United.
Okay.
Dear woman, 1-year deal with Karela United.
Well, I will say, young fast than any being farmer Camel Natural Selection Shower Gel. Emat, Uhia Gel, Paya, Kama, with the big gardener, body na Hana, Party and Pacho, and no Camel Natural Selection Shower Gel. Now, with him say Camel, the product or more at the hand of the milk, and now fee, Womo at the white tea, and now Omo, and so at the air Kamapa, your aloe vera and milk, your avocado and papaya, and your coconut, and now for vanilla and ho yewo blueberry and afe lavender enso ho enti it come in 6 flavors diabedi bia adwuma se empo honemani so ye tuntum anase kokko but eno de uyusu a ebe won body na ye kama pa na to so ye enti wunya shower gel de adware a eno camel natural selection shower gel na make for them out for emfrezo 243 744 and I say 0244 371 459 na onso wanya dodo etwaton woko be bia cosmetic shop bia wa onso wonsa ebeka de na Roxa building product but woman na edi adanse woni ama power pa so edi ma tese ebetimi aboye pa wodan no wo peso oboso odan e fi na sase ekopem se wo complete wo dan nyina no wo mu bo ama top quality solutions no ana tese wo de ema eba na coated aluminium ni ya wo mu de bi ema na face alozen no roofing sheet no mu de bi aba afe uhia se ubenya lighter wo de betimi de adu duma nyina omo adawro makwa akofani nyina e de aba trusted ana face strong durable building materials ana omonso edibi amanti wotemenka na woso wodan na sase ekopim na wie nyina omodibi ema womo ebe supply normal quality metal nodules afis ebano solid framing so amodibi ema pop ni nyina plastic board ni nyina omoye ade ama acoustic solutions ni nyina no wo me ade ama na fe woda no etime anya hodin ye pa high quality materials there wo makati na wo kumasia wo ko adako jatia ehwa na wo nso otafo eno nso ade se edabi oko enkaya eno ye Taifa Junction Accra off Isawam Road eno nso wo mo ho ebano switch any cables any multi lamp holders ni nyampato wo be na wiring materials ni nyina wo ma obi wo no numbers no 0544 3380482 na onso etimi afrom enuati na menkanto se Belmont de na kama Belmont non alcoholic drinker ebo djuma bia widi bia no bi na ese onya se outdoor event bi na ye birthday bi ana onso woto apunto bi na ato eno ana be kama enso de ama wansese awodo nyina nso nti nya wode na chese ne ma anya kama mfama ewe ya chese awodo nyina so in case afi anu adwane aha ana onso tie okay, enti anope Belmont say womo Ghana fana ba bia no ubenya omo from sisi was 055 0544 33590 and I say 0544 33580 na wenya Belmont na wetimi edi adu juma Philemon's car part center Philemon say sisi na nya na over na me komanzi ana traffic ni ade dabi sisi ade wo metwani nyina so de amount canteen cronin sene heya ka bia wo penny engine and in a part o makwa akofa de aba in fact obesi Ghana ha na ba sentimentam ha ube baby o mudi ntintima ye pa dodo na age o matum so mo car part and engine air kama aye Philemon's car part air center fu ani chemu sisi say for transit wo mo de na pep anase Mercedes Sprinter Opel Benz C class D and Benz there say run light ni nyina ubenya bi ho afe wo obi a wo wani di engine won pa dia for ani che ho na kokwaje de e ban Japanese one anase Korea for the US engine nyina no wo me di ni nyina bi aba ebo no so of quality anom de ma Toyota Colorado unya Toyota Fit anase Yaris wo me di Toyota Echo wo me de Kia Picanto de aba Kia Morning Atos ni nyina bi ho dawu matis ni nyina wo makofani nyina bi aba afe ohia Hyundai wo mo so niam nyina mpato mo di Hyundai Accent enso ade aba wo mo engine and part no wonsa account dem wo mo numbers 0249 013 177 and as 0270 259 625 na wodi wani ya chemu enso ewo ensene ene ya kantin krono ade say new road wo so ubeduru St. Louis school hono SHS one ha anomoro mo ente for ani che o makache na kwajo de kama momo ni MTN Ghana ase wo di momo first no enso e de eba eye brekum ana eba so de ade ase wo de akukudam e de eba ni ntire eba ne juntom pa de ene brekum are you ready ezanse momo first no eye de koku smoke eno so eye homecoming at ase eba so de ya de ajuntofo akukudam nyina e de eba afenso no yama vibrant air castles market over air 50 vendors and ya de bro discount we do nyina wonsa abakandia yawo ayi pure live viewing party children's corner momo discount shop ana afe yamaru osa we do p MTN brekum and so eba so den ntaya na wamo ani ade na tese nyina yabo adedem 2026 momo first no and so eba so on the 13th of there's August ya rane den and so ebo na tese no so atimi aya kama amanse community bank PLC azumen kajo say no mode ne pa ana edi aba na amanse say eba ne sikasam adwede pa de o na mudi muntitima about fixed deposit account current account we mu bia nyina de ma susu account no we me nyina de ma loan bia wani je no mbato of wani chemu our mansia community bank PLC no mo so mrao na ya branch no ya main office our Antwerp room manso kwanta manso do bia manso data no afa akokari ubenya asibha afa ko santase no so yo afa oko manso keniago ya numbers no 0247000113 na yanso yatimade so amuzu hafu ni wasima tiwini mfu kama Dr. Amuzu eso bema utiwini mfu na ho ayefefefe kama ene oko cosmetic shop bia ubenya Amuzu herbal food ni bi enso ato wo numbers 024829550556 na wanya Amuzu ya food afa KNUST wo metem kan to say 60th anniversary no enso eba so den atase enyasem kro atetwa start on the 22nd of August ya kopim on the 30th anatese yede ebrawo and yede colorful floating Truth Town eba afenso academic excellence day and also about cultural heritage ni nyina yede ebro community services ni nyina ya entimenyu mfimo ano anso ya KNUST 63th anniversary ana yede ebro yede akukudam ne animche ohene ponkasa eba bi His Royal Majesty Otumfo enso eba afenso education minister Haruna Idrisu enso eba na vice chancellor Prof Christian Ajare enso eba aya na wamani ede 26 of August ya anti yebesa se na 29th of August 29th of August and ya grand eba no na ma kopim ni Sunday 30th enso ye new campus on Mabuadi ehona enso benya wo penchemu bia no mesi ni 0244363478 and also 0246341141 na onso onsa etumi akan afena na P phones and accessories as we hear phones pan and accessories dia na kate ana onso benya bi ode niam pa e dia bata so de fa Ghana card bra wo Ghana card bra ade kono sika enso a wono so best spread dia ma kama na onso onsa etumi akan de na P nie wo mo se wo mo enso ade rechargeable fans ade aba wo mo de smartphones so aba Nokia wo mo ade smart phones ni nyina bi aba fani chemo wo makata ba ni TV rice cooker bana and air fryers ni ade ni nyina bi enso ewo ho location ni de aduma Aseda house ya ne Kesben enso den ma na ubenya ye afenso aduma obi ba JK building no and subsidy ya ni Prudential bank and e de nche adum PZ na na kwesi agema building ma ubenya nkra Madina Zongo Johnson and so abo na ja wetimi aba ya numbers no 0533093422 na fe wonso wonsa etimi aka na eba ne se open computer school pa ana akodia anu so ye UPI pato Junior Practical Institute near eba ne network cyber security and engineering you do from computer basics and office administration CCTV camera installation management you do from data analytics you do eba from na fe design technology and drone piloting and also you do from Junior Institute womo adawro manie womo se ba na practical there ayomo aspect enti brasi sie na yenso yanu entry emum ye wia ya pe institution bia mam na wonso akwakoye attachment ho na eno so etimi aboa eba na hardware and mobile technician na ana fe AI wo so master wo mpa wo mo ana edimu entitimai eye pa from CCA I was 0555383848 na yeso ajo susu so bus stop on ma ehwa na onso we be na vim champagne and drink die ayi obi na event bi na na unhia energy drink vim champagne abamo extra energy extra ewale your numbers na 0322190877 na chese no so etimi aye kama yie pa medame wa ba yesi me ba ya bebepe na yenso ya fa mo course na madwenche matimi ede aba dwumadi so sounds why sweet saja minim say die fe wi ayi say o ma beda wase a say na say asore na obai say white no wase
beda amase
sa
o beda amase we dey me outfit
ka say na say asore
ejina me de mase be brave beba
wala yenin komo yan start efe no adeniama to treasure this time around send anka bia ye kwa agenda bebre no ziade efe no straightforward. It's all about the Ghana Premier League the coming season and then the prize money near ma e betimi aboy football no amano akoso yamfa Kofi Di Adams ensem no and so and say as your sports minister
onim enra sports minister kasa yie pa me bona baso hwe me kro ma no hu ade ba ko amahuni say usually yehu caption how I paraphrase ade no headline no nipa ni hu pe no wa peke no ompa asem na ntie enti ogire no so na obaahye so what's this ade no kroma
yeah
enu bi na onim say honestly speaking na me ya ade enti na me nyantie sports minister enti asem ye okan ya no metu me bua metie ni asase mintie no na me kra me dwane ba metu me bua metie ni ye asem na okan the context e mo de kan asem no ena me hu say oh papa no asem na okan on kan body say Gabi anu abi na kaya be 2 days ago so hu social media media na bi normal and oti adwuma na se asa na ma na o mfa anya asem but advisable say normally say obi kan asem a na bia hu caption bia try say asem na nkasa na nipa ne kan no obepe etie anya mu nkyeremu ansa na what draw conclusions. Gabi asma minister kan no me no nyina nim say ene your global village otie your global village ankane no say Ghana ye boy en lega omo no more opportunity and accessibility na e kakra bi say enye ya ye okrom hanom na nkasa na Gabi na edin because that time no ye need their friend the TikTok meboa Instagram ne na se phone na eni ho social media handles and ye keka na uni bibi a friend social media handles say enye paper ya bobo we na open ball mu nsem atia wentie o radio so ebia GBC no wentie me ne himfa na obenya atia
there's a graphics yeah
just offer graphic enuntina sa time na Kotoko Express nso no ne bo aba be day time na Kotoko hye niema yie na at a point no say opese oto a graphica ye ma Kotoko Express ania the graphic atato cause they do baby mpo na graphics
enie ma me fam course ne kakra mpacha we de madawro ma mo ba na wa ye ntietem na ja unia so etimi abaso bi hello
abadina tine enka for Yahoo de mo
Emos Mensa
portrait about the papa me de jumana and somehow the house for some dom who baba wadia then you pan wiki ye twa wo mo e kwa dia so ha de se bi ka fa ta fa ne be gu mo timo no so Kotoko pa ne ha kom ha ne pa Sunday die supporters game ne nka mo bebre
okay yeah that say hello okay when to be nyina so mama another caller hello wow eswa hitipa hello when to be nyina so mama foforo hello hey hello yes sir nyame adom bokopa pay impacho baby a o kasa free ne wodin
the patron me bia na big Bernard ammonia me di hu hia me air condition special GT phone as mo ke
okay
openika say global akra asufu ye ba ne apeso Yeah, ban up so someone when you say, myself of Framade, I go Framasono, you, you broke, yeah, Baba, every other trophy in the airport. You was young man, was a West Papa, this I am and I for 2 points. You for me and could jam and another quiet Namaya, Yami, every summer. You can't at the airport. I'm ready. I move you.
Hey, you, Matthew, Bernard Quay.
Hello, Daddy.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Pacho. We didn't baby Akase free.
Yeah, Nikkei, I'm going to figure.
Okay, Abuama Bintiwe.
Now, Mrs. Chelsea, one more time, if I be a man, the cow can say, yeah, no, about the leader. Eh? What me a brafio? The year 20 on my idea. Ah, back on what to borrow in a Yamu, what be about 1 million? 1 million. Genesis is on my idea.
Okay. But I say, young queen, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pacho. We didn't baby Akase free.
Upon the Kinika, you was a handsome yodi.
F. Mintiwe.
Which I'm Mamma Mapa. I can't walk at your house. You pay for them. You don't want to see so much now at your Kama, a FIFA, and I'm with you, and I'm here. Yes, throw more the ample place, Papa. One year to Nimua, you can go to my Roma. You see,
okay. Yanswe da sepa yamfa course no emfancy madawro meja brain chechna de muamu ya wese be mamo brepa na yetimi atwa so memfa birthday me anyway in 5 film na yanswe ata mighty the mighty one ata mighty e Finland open ene ewa woda we the issue FM team ni nyina we so happy birthday nyamin sha na omo nyini che ene ahoden na wonso kwa nim sa the age of 70 and now some kotwa hey ya bompa say e beduru age bi kama atamati happy birthday nyamin shawa with there so na enya from mama second one na eno so memfa enwie happy birthday enko Emma mama D enso pamade won kokko wo eye dompare eye fitamu opsito ma ewon kokko ho ana wonso wo in fact na yewa woda wo mama ni nyina ne nkanka asantoa ene nkoda akare nyina se yanwhye wa woda pa nyame nhira pa na omo wa woda enye from wakoma so de nyina emra mama D happy birthday to me say unkete say blom na nya sam kotwa kra because at this age ahonfe no e wo pa ne de we see otiwi kama nyame nhira na omo eye awodam ahode se ne be ya jankoda nso ebetimi enya boafopa e we chi sa abusia ya de musia num say na yakwa adom na yakwa akofa tofo kalk news na e dia bro from Gabi Thuram the foreign idea anko momfanche ya ba adetie e be siesie ni nyina e di amamo na mote eye fifi manfredenka mote kinsman kalalanka ana judo usuba fonso mote nenka sokoban fatlo ana eye kwaku eye prinsen ana dabi kwabna prinsen rather ana festive zando ne produce jumadi Jeff Abwaje ana fi bra kwame ana yedi tu odi tu mu e social media atese yedi jumadi e di adamti yanko adom